Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, so we're back to the weekend now. It is January 11th, and we'll just start out with our first reading, as always. Daily Reflections for Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. And when he writes for January 11th, his paradigms are powerful because they create the lens through which we see the world. The power of a paradigm shift is the essential power of a quantum change, whether that shift is an instantaneous or a slow and deliberate process. So I'm just trying different mic setups as well, so I'm going to move it around a little bit because I know some of you guys have been harder to hear this. Anyway, so this last reading, it uses some old language, right? I mean, most of the stuff from Stephen was written back in the 80s, and paradigm and what was the other word? Quantum change. These are terms that are probably 30 or 35 years old, and they may not mean much to you in today's world, but the paradigm through which we see the world and quantum change. I translate that for me into, if you can change the lens. Again, we're back now. I think it's the third time this month. If we can change how we view the world, if we can change the lens or the paradigm, if we can change that, if we can become aware of how we filter what we see the world through, it can really change us. So I would say, can we spend less time being angry? Can we spend less time being frustrated? Can we spend more time on solutions and on learning lessons instead of focusing on what's wrong and blaming and looking backwards? So anyway, I just think if you can change how you look at the world every day, like today, like as you read this or as you watch this morning, spend this Saturday kind of, evaluating how you look at things. Do you usually see the best and maybe almost too much so, or do you always see the worst? Or can you change that a little bit and spend some time thinking about how you filter what you see in the world and how do you see things different than others, and then decide what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and begin to work on the few things that don't work for you. That's really all I take out of this one today. All right, we'll move on to the second reading today. As always, Napoleon Hill's Positive Action Plan. Again, January is 31 days of talking about our traits of character. And for January 11th, they write, money is either a good or bad influence, according to the character of the person who possesses it. It's true. Money has no character, no personality, no values. Its actions only reflect the desires of its owner. Money can build great hospitals and schools, or it can be gambled away or squandered on meaningless possessions. Money may build museums to house beautiful works of art. It may construct beautiful houses of worship, or it may be used to create instruments of war and destruction. As you build your personal wealth, make sure you build your character by setting aside a portion of your income to help others. Choose a church, a charity, or a cause that you can enthusiastically support. Then give of your money and your time in support of that cause. The primary beneficiary of such noble actions is always the one who gives, not the one who receives. I think one of the harder messages here is maybe don't wait. And I know I did for a long time. I took the opinion of, I'll be more philanthropic or more helpful when I have more money, or when I have more time, or when I get a little older, or when I have X or Y. And I think I did that for a long time. But I think as I got into my 30s and my early 40s, I realized that was a mistake. And kind of what goes here, if you want to claim good character, and if you want to grow your character, giving is part of that, part of that spectrum. And it can be small. It can be, I'll give you an example. Hero Dogs is one of ours. Wounded Warriors is one of ours. ASPCA is one of ours. Animal Rescue Corp is another one. And we started out giving small amounts. $5 a month, $10 a month. You can grow larger. Your contributions can grow as you do. But I would say just about everybody has some money to do that, or some time. I think sometimes the organizations would prefer you give time than money. I I just know I kind of hid behind growing a business and being the CEO and 2 little kids and being an elected official and all that. I always hid behind that, too busy. And I started to correct that maybe 15 years ago, and now we do quite a bit, but we're in a different place today. So I just throw that out there. There's always a way to contribute, whether it be time or money, no matter how small, to start building that into your psyche, to start building that into your character. I just throw that out there as part of the interpretation of this today. So again, I bring up Seth Godin, so clearly this is not going to be a rare occasion. So the entry we just read from Napoleon Hill was about, giving and being philanthropic, and I thought Seth's was close. I thought it was a really good dovetail into this, so I'll just read it to you. So again, this is Seth Godin from this morning. Falling behind versus streaks. The culture punishes people by reminding us that we're falling behind. The camera focuses on the person who is winning the race instead of the one who's trying harder than ever before. The bank sends the dunning notice to the person behind on their rent, and the lousy grades go to the student who hands in a paper a day late. Fear of falling behind is a good way to enforce compliance. But it turns out that real progress comes not from measuring ourselves against everyone else's pace, but in building habits. And habits come from streaks. You're almost certainly never going to win a 26-mile marathon, but if you train every day, you'll finish one. Drip by drip, day by day, habits lead to commitments, and commitments create learning. A culture of streaks can't help but be mutually supportive. If there's no behind, and then there's no ahead. But if we're supporting each other and building new habits, we discover that opening the door for someone else also benefits us as well. What I like most about that is habits. And I think, small things done consistently with excellence build great change in our lives. And I don't know who first said that, but who said that first to me was my mentor, Keith Cunningham. And I just believe in that so much that I just want to put it out to you. I thought Seth said it well, but, build habits, create streaks in your behavior. Those streaks become habits. Build those habits into life practices, and it will, in fact, change your life. Guys, that's it. Congratulations. You're 11 days in. I hope this is helping. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.